I'm Robert D, your favorite OG. Welcome to my channel where truth is told and lies are exposed. This the bonus edition. So it's a YouTuber I like to check out. I really enjoy his content, man. I enjoy him as a person, to be honest with you. He yeah, he's a good guy, right? I like him, right? And his name is Amir Odom. Now, for those that don't know, he's gay, right? I have no problem with that at all. To be honest with you, I'm not homophobic or nothing like that, uh, at all, right? As a Christian man, of course, I'm against the lifestyle, right? Because the Lord is against it. I don't have no personal issues with it at all, not at all. But if the Lord is against a thing, I stand against it. But to his credit, he says so himself. He's the normal gay, right? He's the regular kind of gay. He's not the all flamboyant and all that. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate his honesty. I like his content, and I don't have a problem watching him at all, right? Despite his personal lifestyle, and I'm all about being authentic, and I can appreciate authenticity from others, right? Okay, so Amir Odom, he did I guess a reaction upload, I guess you would call it that. But there's apparently a TikToker that goes by the name of Lilly Tino. Never heard of this person before, today. But Amir, uh, being a gay black man, was calling out this trans person for their audacious behavior and how it makes the whole LGBTQ community at large look bad, right? And he could understand how it went from just uh, 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 those who are in that particular lifestyle, seeking to have certain rights like marriage and stuff like that, to now this big push to men and women's sports and teaching kids this in schools and having these outrageous books in libraries. And he was speaking on that issue, right? And and what was coming to mind the whole, and he did a phenomenal job. I encourage everybody to go check it out, right? Despite how you may feel about his personal lifestyle, he's not the kind of person that, like, just he's all about that. He wants to throw that in your face. I respect that. I really do. I know some of every kind of people in this world, right? And I have love for everybody because we are all created in the image and likeness of the Lord. It's just the particular lifestyle choices. It's sin, right? No sin is better than the next. His sin ain't no worse than my sin. So you know what I'm saying? But sin is sin. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't address these issues in our life according to what the Bible say, it puts our very souls in jeopardy, right? And so, I have no problem with this man personally. I actually like him, to be honest with you. If we were neighbors, we would be cool for sure, right? I would definitely let him know how I stand and how I feel about his particular lifestyle, and that he's really taking a chance with his particular soul. But thank God that we live in America where we're able to pursue our happiness and how we choose to, right? So as an American, I protect his right all day, every day to live his life, And like I say, he's very respectful, and so I can respect that, right? Maybe not his lifestyle choices, but that's not for me to decide. He's got to take that up with the Creator one day, okay? So, but this is not about that. I really like his pushback against this trans community and how it makes all of them look bad, right? And so as I'm watching this, what was coming to mind was how we've been talking about black fatigue. I actually like the new terminology of calling it ghetto fatigue. I actually do like that. It's kind of more correct, instead of just lumping all black people into this issue, But to refer to it as ghetto fatigue is a little bit more precise, right? And so as Amir was talking about how this TikToker, Lilly Tino, it just went from, just a trans woman person whatever, doing food reviews, to just being audacious, calling people out by misgendering them, and just, just being a complete ass about it, and how that just really turns everybody off to the community, which it does, right? And so, yeah, hold on. And anyway, and so I really appreciate his take on that. So I encourage people to go watch it. But what was reminding me was that how we have this ghetto fatigue, and how there are there's the black community that like to separate themselves, because yeah, it makes us all look bad, right? So it's we can kind of relate on that same issue. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, the and see, and this is what I wanted to really say to Amir, right? See, this is the thing, as far as coming from a Christian point of view, and so how we look at homosexuality as being a gateway, right? It's being see, it went from just being something that was, hidden in the closet, as they say, right? To now it came out in the open. It became more acceptable. And see, and that's the thing, when you start allowing these different perversions, this is what happens. Oh, excuse me. So this is what happens. The human heart, the human mind, once you allow the human being to just live in its perversions, and it becomes acceptable behavior, it just increases. It increases, and you'd be surprised. I mean, there's push for for minor attraction, I suppose. To keep it YouTube friendly, or bestiality. If so, we keep allowing acceptance of these particular lifestyles, right? That you, sir, Amir, are beginning to see, even from your own lens, right? How it just gets a little wilder, a little weirder, and it's making that whole culture look bad, right? And now there's pushback even from within your own community against this. And so, coming from a straight heterosexual male who's a Christian, who sees things through a spiritual lens, right? That's why we look at homosexuality. It's not natural. It's against the natural order of how God created man and woman to act and to be. And on that point, if you look at it, there's no other creatures on this planet that engage in that behavior. We can, because God has given us free will. Animals don't have that luxury. So they, by design, do what they're created and designed to do. We do not see this practice in no other life form on this planet, because it's not natural. And the only reason we as human beings can engage in it is because God has given us free will over our basic animal instincts. So we don't just blindly follow our fleshly instincts. So the lifestyle homosexuality, that comes within the flesh. If you have sexual desires toward the same sex, right? That's understandable, because within our bodies, we have a sinful nature. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not natural. It is an unnatural act. And I just wanted to say this when I was thinking about this. And this is not throwing no shade. This ain't no hate. This is truth, okay? And like I say, I like Amir Odom as a content creator. I like him as a person. I like how he represents himself, even as a gay black man. He's very respectful and open and honest about his lifestyle. I respect that all day long, right? To be honest with you, I ain't got to agree with you, but I can absolutely respect the man, right? Okay, so on that point, I just want to say this. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't really know the Bible, or they don't want to have a belief in God, or they'll take the Bible and twist it and try to make it fit their lifestyle, right? But I just want to remind people of this, right? The word sodomy, right? Sodomite, we know what sodomy is, right? And we know what sodomites are, right? The act of homosexuality is sodomism, I guess you could say, if that's a word, right? Now, where does that come from? It comes from out of the Bible. There was a town called Sodom, and there was a town called Gomorrah. Both of these towns were as perverted as you can imagine. Just imagine the LGBTQ community having their own towns and cities and just left to their own ways and come back in 50 years and just imagine what could be going on. That's how this place was. It was just all out debauchery. Okay? And the Lord himself destroyed both those cities in judgment for his wickedness. And to this day, we get our word Sodom, sodomy, all from that. From that, that's in the Bible. A lot of people don't know that, so hopefully I maybe brought some education to it. So I just had to bring this out, man. It's not to throw no hate, but I know this is Pride Month, and as a Christian, I'm trying to bring awareness to people about this. It's not to be hate. I'm not homophobic or transphobic or whatever the left want to call me. You can call me what you want to call me. I'm a Christian at the end of the day who stand on the word of God and by faith, right? And I declare what the Lord declares to be right and wrong. That's it, and that's all. But Amir Odom, man, I like your content. I am a subscriber, and your personal choice of lifestyle, that's none of my business. But as a Christian man, I must warn you that you need to really uh, do some look into it. You know what I'm saying? Search out your heart. If there was ever a moment you had any doubts of whether your lifestyle was agreeable with the Lord or not, you maybe need to look further down into that, because I'm gonna let you know that according to God, right, that will keep you out of heaven. Now there is time to repent, and there is time to come to the Lord and turn from that lifestyle, right? There is grace there and forgiveness, right? That can be, but hey, you are free to choose and live your life how you want to, sir. And as an American citizen, I will protect your right to do so every day, all day long. I like your content. I appreciate your content, and I appreciate you as a person. Absolutely. And I absolutely enjoyed your take on that Lilly Tino situation, because that doesn't need to be highlighted. That was wild with this dude, right? I'm the worst person he'd ever want to cross paths with. He'd be ready to fight, because I'm sir, dude, man, bro. What's up, my guy? Yeah. He definitely does not want to cross paths with me, for sure. Because I'm not gonna call a man a woman, right? You're not gonna force me into your own delusion. I refuse that, right? So we would just have it falling out. Y'all can call me what you want to call me, but at the end of the day, I'm a child of God. So, and that is what that is, right? But yeah, I just had to get on here and make this video for Amir Odom, man, and give him a quick shout out. And yeah, so uh, yeah, so that's it. And that's all. Everybody have a blessed and wonderful day, and go check him out, man. That was a great take on that TikToker. I never heard of him before today, and I'm not really interested on hearing about him again. But it was good to see that whole trans issue highlighted, and especially we in the month of June. So it's gonna be all type of weirdo stuff jumping off, right? All right, that's all I got. So everybody have a blessed and wonderful day.